Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, your place for news and gameplay. Some good, some bad, and let's be honest, likely some rage and tilting. If you like what you see, please consider subscribing and hitting that bell for notifications. In today's episode, we're focusing on some test server action. This weekend, we're testing the rework of the 3 bots in the Pantheon pack, the Ares, Hades, and the new addition, the Nemesis. Firstly, there has been a rework to the workshop. Now you can convert components you do not want into components you do. However, this is not a 1-to-1 ratio, which I don't think is surprising. Otherwise, people would build the cheapest components just to convert them into the more expensive ones. The numbers are subject to change, but it appears there is a conversion ratio depending on the components you are converting and what you are converting to. It will also cost 100,000 silver in order to convert the components. It does not matter if you are converting one or thousands of components, it's still 100,000 silver. Again, this is subject to change. Getting into the actual bots, the stats of 3 bots in the Pantheon pack have changed. I realize that the Nemesis is new, but some did have an early access to this in the past week, and its stats have been modified as well. At level 8, we have the Ares with a durability of 87,200 hit points, a speed of 59 kilometers per hour, an absorption shield of 8 seconds, and the built-in weapon damage of 1,000 per charge for 40 charges. Its built-in weapon damage is buffed by absorption up to 100% with a range of 500 meters. The ability of the cooldown is 18 seconds. The Hades has a durability of 110,800 hit points, speed of 51 kilometers per hour with an absorption shield of 6 seconds. The built-in weapon damage is 10,500 per charge for 3 charges. Its built-in weapon damage is buffed by absorption up to 100% with a range of 500 meters. The ability cooldown for this is 12 seconds. The newest robot, the Nemesis, has a durability of 140,000 hit points, speed of 44 kilometers per hour, and absorption duration of only 4 seconds. Its built-in weapon damage is 1,500 per missile for 20 missiles. Its built-in weapon damage is buffed by absorption up to 100% with a range of 500 meters as well, in addition to 20 meters of splash damage. The ability cooldown for the Nemesis is 8 seconds. All 3 bots have lost the ability after the absorption wears off. This means the Ares no longer has the increased speed, the Hades does not have the healing aspect, and the new Nemesis does not have the resistance, which was the case a few days ago. All of these abilities did confuse a number of people during the last test server. However, I did feel this was what made them somewhat unique. In the current state, I'm not sure if I would replace a bot in my hangar, except perhaps maybe the Hades. And, well, the Ares as well. However, to compensate for the loss of the additional abilities, they have now made it so the special weapons activate while your absorption shield is still up, meaning you no longer have to worry about whether to brawl or run and hide, which for me, I found during the last test server, the best decision was to actually run and hide, which made the special weapons pretty much worthless. So this is a good change in my opinion. I've run several games using both the Ares and the Hades, but I've decided to include only 2 games for this failure. One focusing on just the Nemesis, and the other a hangar without any of the new bots. I was just curious how a typical hangar would hold up. So if you look, I am running, as I mentioned, 5 Nemesis bots. One running shock trains, one with Orkans, one with Scourge, one with Corona, and finally one running Tarons. In my second hangar, I have built it without any of the new bots whatsoever. I'm running the Falcon with Avenger and Exodus, the Bulwark with Avengers, the Hellburner with EQ Shield as well as Ansel Shield, the Pursuer running Halo and Gust, and finally the Spectre running Columbus. So, without any further ado, let's get into the action. So everyone, that was the 2 games I mentioned I was going to play for you. My final thoughts are that the Ares feels like an absolute beast now when played correctly. It has had its absorption shield duration increase from 5 seconds to 8 seconds, which was the same as the Hades last week. However, the Hades has had its shield duration reduced to 6 seconds, so now the bot with the most firepower and is the quickest gets the most protection. That doesn't seem to make sense too much to me. Yet it doesn't have the HP that the other 2 do. However, I think it's now become a bit too overpowered. If anything, I'd say the shield durations should be reversed. The Ares at 4 seconds, the Hades at 6, and the Nemesis at 8. Although the 4 seconds for the Ares may actually be a little bit too little. Maybe put it back to 5 instead. I think the shield duration does need to be tweaked, however, on these bots. One thing I did notice is that the corrosion weapons were not available in the test server. I would have loved to have seen how they would run in combination with these new bots. Also, the Nemesis graphics seem to be off. When viewing in the hangar, it's huge, almost so that part of it's off the screen. And when dropping into a battle, the hangar selection screen only shows the top half of the Nemesis. I feel these are probably just minor bugs to be ironed out. One thing I really hope is that Pixonic slows down all of this new content. I know it's unusual to say that in any game. Most of the time the players are begging for new content. But Pixonic has gone completely overboard to the point that even the whales, those who spend large amounts of money, can't even keep up. If you go on any of the War Robot social media pages, you'll see it's flooded with people complaining, asking, begging to just fix the issues with the game. I rarely see anyone actually asking for new content. And we haven't even gotten into the modules yet, which are supposed to be coming at some point. I really hope that Pixonic does this, and soon puts a hiatus on all this content and actually fix some of the existing issues. I'd much prefer to see this happen before the modules ever come to the game. That being said, I hope you enjoyed this weekend's test server. And as always, if you like what you see, please consider subscribing and hitting that bell for notifications. And feel free to leave a comment, as I'm new to this and always looking to improve. Constructive criticism is very much appreciated. Until next time, cause some mayhem on the field for me, and maybe one day I'll meet you in battle.